Yeah, I think choosing influencers is somewhat similar to choosing what coins you're buying. I mean, most of the coins are bad. Most of
Right.
the and most of the influencers are bad. So you have to choose wisely who you're gonna follow on their calls because I was gonna say many of them aren't that good.
Yep.
But obviously now we can track their record, right? When you have, if you use LizaX, you can see how they perform. So
Yep.
that will help you regarding that, and that's a huge win if it works good. And obviously so far you have showcased many
Yep.
different calls that they're good. So, but yeah, as I said, I mean most influencers are bad. I've been working with and to my last answer, it sounded like I was only into like Ethereum, but I've been into hundreds or if not thousands of coins. So yeah, I met a lot of them. I know many of them, um, and I know how bad they are. I know people who are good, but most of them are bad, similar to most coins are bad. So
Right.
in general, when coins pump, you must also be aware of that. It's not always just because those people tweet about it.
Right.
They maybe they just know some good devs that keep making good coins
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. So, but yeah, with LizaX you can track them, and obviously if they continue doing nice calls, you can maybe follow them and
Right.
uh, yeah, copy trade like
Yep.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I agree with that. I agree with that. A lot of it has to do with, navigating the marketing appropriately. There's a lot of calls going out, but, identifying the ones that are calling correctly is hard in this space. And LisaX kind of just sets that platform up for you to be able to, eliminate a lot of those actors that are out there versus the ones that are actually working hard and doing good by this space. So.
Great. Okay, cool. So let's dive in some to the LizaX features that there was a reason why I asked you guys those questions, because exactly those questions and those challenges, this is what LizaX is aiming to solve, and let's see how we can do that. And I think that as much as you're like have much more knowledge and strategic person, you will be able to use LizaX in a much more strategic way than just like the basic approach, right? But let me show you some really cool stuff over here. So first of all, as Whalechart and Manu also said, you have the Lisa score over here. Now the Lisa score is the algorithm behind it. It's like we are actually scanning all of the calls of the influencers, and then as you can see, there is a small button over here, which is the short term and the long term, because there is a big difference between influencers who just like pumping the chart for 24 hours and then like I don't know, from some reason it's dumping, to influencers who are not chasing just for like shining objects. They're just like bringing much more like solid and long-term projects. So if you can, as you can see, the short term, once you do the short term, then you can have a little bit different Lisa scores than the long term, right? So if you are a person that just like, oh okay, I just want to follow the ones who are like pumping the charts, so this is for you, the short term. If you want to have much more like solid project and influencer, this is the long term, right? By the way, well, let's see where you are at. Buddy, you are 9.5 Lita score. So you are like, I guess
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing a
that's
good
great.
job, man.
Let's
I
go.
don't do. With that said, though, I don't do that many calls, right? I mean, I kind of like I can tweet about. That's one of the things. Like, if I tweet about, like, I tweet about news, right? So I can tweet
Yeah,
about bad coins as well.
yeah.
So my question would be like, how do you have some type of I would say maybe some feature would be that you could actively go in and be like, I am a trader,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have you can have what you already have because that's great. But what if you also have like these guys you can follow are actively they want to be top traders on Lisa or something. So they're like, I am only doing calls, so you
Mm-hmm.
know that they're kind of giving you trades all the time.
Right.
I don't know. That
So
was just a suggestion. I was thinking that. Yeah.
definitely. But can you repeat the what you suggested again? I just want to understand it correctly.
Yeah, because the thing is now, like I'm ranked there now, right? And I also obviously I tweet about these projects, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I also what can I say? I can break news about TRB being down, right?
Right, right, right.
And I assume maybe your algorithm will showcase that as me being bullish. I'm not sure
No,
how that
no,
works,
not.
but
This is the thing. This is the AI behind what we're doing over here. That we are like scanning the
okay.
tweets, and we have like this mechanism that it makes a differentiation between bullish and bearish. It's something that we are working hard every day to make it much more accurate. But like this tool, it's not like black and white. It's not like, oh my god, yeah, once I do a score, I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna follow it. No, the guys needs to use their brains a little bit, but we definitely show them the wide picture about a specific influencer. Even though like the influencer dashboard, this is not the cherry pie, right? This dashboard is actually like a compass. Is like, okay, which influencers I want to follow, right? So for example, if I go to, I don't know, just like for example, I don't know, like let's take whatever, this one for example. All right, so we can see the Lisa score, which is like 10. This guy had a winning 24 winning calls and 3 losing calls, right? And and it's changing like every day. It's not some like a static number or something like that. So every day we are like scanning the projects that have been called. We are scanning the tweets and the period of time between the tweet to the current price on the chart. And this is how the algorithm always been updating regarding the score itself, right? So this is the approach about the Lisa score regarding the influences. And one of the things that I love to use is I'm actually like building my A team, right? So let's say if I will click on that in favorite, so you can see that I have kind of like 18 built together of the ones that I'm following. You can do a much more like accurate and much more like, let's say 4 influencer, 5, 20, whatsoever. And I will show you in a second what I'm doing exactly with this 18 that I'm building, right? So now this 18 you can change it like in a dynamic way. If you can see somebody that doesn't do any like a good job, so you can remove it and here and then. But eventually this is like a compass for people to see who's doing a good job and who's not. I don't know, lately I saw a lot of influencers who have a really magnificent copywriting skills, but dude, they're like bringing so much scam and so much pump and dumps. And they're like, they're keeping, because they don't care. They keeping like tweeting about projects, and people follow them, right? And on Twitter you can manipulate different kind of Twitter algorithms, such as engagement or tweets or likes or whatsoever. But here, this is the first place that you can actually see the score. And if you guys don't believe us, for example, I don't like. What we're going to do, actually, let's say if I'm going to somebody over here, okay, I don't know, for example, this one, what we are going to do is we are going to put some, like, you can see winning calls. You see this small thing over here? You can go and see exactly which are the losing calls and the winning calls, and in this way you can actually see if the score is good or not, valid or not, right? One second, guys. Okay, so this is one dashboard that we are like aiming to improve it more and more, but it's a really nice compass to see who to follow and who's not. But let's go to the projects, right? And this is where the magic happens. In project dashboard, what you can see, the Lisa score over here, it's not that, okay, if it's a 10, it's something that I need to ape on. No, it's not. The Lisa score on the project side, it's a combination of the most talked about projects, either like different kind of matrices. But as you can see, Solana, for example, if you're aiming to do like a 50x or 100x, Solana won't be the case, right? But this is something that you can actually see where the volume goes in the crypto space, right? So if I'm looking at 7-day time frame, and I'm going to put some mentions, right? So I can see that there's a lot of hype on Solana, on Injective, and so, right? So one of the strategies that I'm using to find a nice project to invest in, I go to filters, and let's say is the lowest time frame I'm using, that will be the much more like closest tweets that I made about a specific project. So if I'm going, let's say, for 1 hour, which is the most lower one, and then I'm gonna click on favorite influencers only, right? So this is my way to tell to the dashboard, okay, show me the project that only my favorite influencer are talking about it, and they tweeted about it in the last hour, right? And if I'm a DJ and I'm just like looking for like a, I don't know, like a really micro cap or low cap project, so I'm doing, for example, maximum 1 million market cap, right? And okay, let's do let's say 3 hour, maybe let's do 3 hours. No, I don't get it. Something. Let's say 1 second. All right, 1 second, guys. Something is okay. Well, let's say 1 day, for example. All right. So and then I'm gonna get like those projects over here that have been talked about in the last day, and there is a big difference between unique mentions and mentions, for example, right? So the difference between unique mentions and mentioned is like unique mentions is like 1 tweet per influencer. Mentions, it's like you can, let's say if I'm gonna sort mentions and I see this project over here that there's 4 mentions, it might be 1 influencer that talked about a specific project. So if I want to have, for example, I have a really good colleague who making a lot of money using this method, but manually. That he has like few influencers he's following, and once he is seeing at least 2 of them talking in the same time frame on a specific project, this is a signal for him that okay, this is something that needs to check it out or to see what's going on with it, right? So let me do like another bigger, yeah, exactly. Okay, so as you can see, this is the way I'm like navigating in the tool, and I'm like you know, I can click on the chart over here and see like which project it is. The next thing that we are going to do, we're going to add over here a liquidation and a market cap column that you can actually sort it out regarding how much liquidation they have, instead of going to their chart and see what their like what their metrics is about, like market cap and so, right? And this is the way that I found it a really nice project like in the last few days, even though like the market was a little bit slipping because of New Year's. And this is a nice approach to get those gems that we are looking for all the time. All right. Any questions, guys?
No, I just have to say that it was really great to get more understanding of how the AI works behind influencers, because I assumed that it would just like pin up tickers people tweeted about, and then I don't know, I just made it bullish. You have some AI type of thing that analyze it, and that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Mano, do you have any questions or any insights?
No, you showcased it very well. You know, and it's the only thing I want to say is, you know, the value of the long-term play. I think in it, it's really underestimated between a lot of like people in the space, because there's a lot of great projects that have been kind of bearing I would say the bear harder than others, because they pretty much were building the entire time during the bull. And you know, and I always say this to shout out some of these really hard work teams, and that's like the Stellaris people over there. Those guys are set to make a next level movement coming into the next bull run. So if you're looking for long-term plays or something that's going to make a really good play during the next investment level, I mean, this is a great way for you to not only track these callers that have been voicing it during the entire bull, hey, this is like the lowest it's ever going to be, to check it out. So then you can find great callers, but you can also look for those really great gems right now to kind of fill up your portfolio and be ready for the next bull run.
Yeah, cool. Here is an example of like some other features that we have. For example, okay, this one I just checked like today, and this is really interesting. As you can see here, when I'm clicking on that, there is a call of one of the influencers. When I go to the chart, all right, and just think about, check this out, guys. This guy, this is really interesting. So think about.
I got chilled that one, man.
Really?
Yeah, I got told to buy that one. Yeah, like a day or two ago.
Really nice.
I didn't do it. Yeah. Fuck.
Okay, so this is a good example of how we can definitely find gems either they're like really just launch or something like that. So just imagine yourself if you could have this tool, and I don't remember exactly when was the first tweeted about that, but it was like today. And even though like if you could cut up this project over here, you could do a few X's about that. One more thing, which is really interesting. Let me show you some stuff over here. Let me take I'm just gonna clear the filters, for example. All right, let's do something like that. All right, let's go to, I don't know, whatever. Okay, it's a big monstery project. Let's take this one for example. All right, so one of the things that I love about this tool, so that once you are going into the profile of one of the project, you can see the chart over here, and you can see actually like the impact, as Whalechart said, like it's not that if this guy over here made a tweet, that means that because of him the chart went up, right? But we can definitely see, either those people have like a inside information or a good instinct. I want to follow them. Doesn't matter if they impacted or not. For some reason, the project went up from their tweeted. So this is like a nice signal also to follow those influencers. Now, more than that, like project owners will be able to use this tool as a way to measure the impact of the influencer that they are working with, if they're like delivering the impact or not, right? So this is another perspective to use this tool for project owners. Influencers, they will be able to showcase their statistics for project owners to see, like to show like how good their like tweets about, and we're gonna develop the statistics more and more. But basically, this tool going to aim also for influencers to use that, project owners, and also investors. So they're like that, the triangle of features that this feature is providing. So I'm finished with the demo over here. So if you guys have any kind of insights or thoughts or suggestions, go ahead. This is the time, and we can wrap it up.
Yeah, really, I just tell everybody right now to just jump in there and start looking at how powerful the ecosystem really is, because we can talk about it all day, but even when I was presented to this project months ago, like you guys would tell me about it, and I got excited, but it wasn't until I actually utilized the ecosystem with my own hands that I seen how powerful it was and how fast and easy it was for me to make really informed decisions with my investments. Because right now in this market, you don't know what's moving, you don't know who's calling what, and even though there's a lot of hype behind some callers, you don't know their track record. And I think that's an extremely important thing. Just because they made 2 good calls recently doesn't mean that their last year or 6 months have really been, well, they could have had a lot of losses. And then you can kind of gauge who you want to put your investment advice in the hands of, or at least the risk management you want to control. And I think that's more important to kind of develop that what's a habit into going in and figuring out, I don't need to just FOMO into stuff, but if I can properly mitigate a lot of that, bull crap that you get in when you go and try to see Twitter and people are shilling you stuff everywhere and everything, you can't really organize the truth behind it. And this kind of just alleviates a lot of headache. And then if you do find that jam or that influencer you want to follow more closely, go to their socials, follow along, be part of that community. But this is a tool that's going to allow you to just make more safe decisions. I do appreciate the time and showcasing this. I'm loving it. I'm utilizing. I can't wait for comments from our community. See how they actually utilize it over the coming weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's been amazing as well, and obviously now you recoded it. What I would suggest is you guys make also a separate video where you kind of go through the same again, so it's easy to share around and let people get to know the project. Either you doing it or influencers, I don't know, but it was, I think many people will start using it if you make a proper video just like you did, and go through like the features you have, and we can share it around.
Beautiful. That's a great idea. We will definitely do that. Guys, thank you very much for your time, Manuel and Whalechart. Have a great day and a New Year's. and a beautiful year, and we will continue communicating and showcasing everybody this tool. And thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, man.
Have a great day.
Great.
Take care, guys.
Yeah,
Bye
yeah,
bye.
Bye-bye.